Greetings, Dusties. This is Ganja Panda from PandaWorks Studios. In this video, I'm going to walk through the setup menu for PandaWorks AutoLoot, or PWAL. PWAL automatically finds supported loot and routes it according to your configuration. To find the terminal, you're going to first go open your inventory and go to your weapons category and select PandaWorks AutoLoot Looting Terminal. Now, the system is divided into four main areas. Loot filters decide what PWAL is allowed to loot. Loot destinations decide where configurable loot is sent. Settings control how PWAL behaves. And utilities provide inventory access, transfer commands, and quick system controls. Everything is configurable and the loot filters begin turned off. So the Panda will not start dismantling the settled systems until you tell it what to collect. We'll begin with loot filters. Turning a filter on allows PWAL to loot that item type. The filters are off by default. Several sections include toggle all options, allowing you to enable or disable every filter within that category at once. Remember, the filters determine what PWAL may loot. They do not determine where that loot goes. And destinations are configured separately. We'll get to those later. So, books, data slates, and skill magazines. The first filter section covers books, data slates, landmarks, and skill magazines. Books and ordinary data slates can be controlled together. Landmark books and skill magazines have separate filters because they are tied to discoveries, permanent bonuses, or other game systems. These progression-sensitive items are sent directly to the player when PWAL collects them. Collectibles. The collectibles section include action figures, antique toys, creature eggs, plushies, snow globes, and other supported collectible groups. You can enable the entire group or entire category using toggle all or select only the ones that you want. Consumables. Consumables include aid items, chemicals and other drugs, drinks, and food. Each group can be enabled separately. This allows you to collect healing supplies and chems without automatically acquiring every drink and half-eaten sandwich in the galaxy. Containers and corpses. These are divided into several source groups. Corpse controls whether or not corpses are processed. You'll need to turn that on if you want corpses to loot. Loot storage includes ammo cases, boss chests, safes, weapon and armor racks, and mannequins. So we'll turn all of these on because I want them. Excuse me. Space. Space containers include ship interiors, asteroids, ship debris, and space debris. Asteroid deposits are what happen when you blow up an asteroid. Ship debris is what happens when you blow up a ship or any other space-based thing. Ship interiors, this is your captain's locker and cargo hold. If you want those looted, you will need to turn this on. Space debris is things like shipping crates, floating cargo, and fuel modules that are just tossed around in free lanes. Utility storage. This includes chem kits, med kits, coolers, data slate, key card holders, resource containers, miscellaneous storage, and contraband containers. We'll turn all those on. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Miscellaneous. This section includes ammo, contraband, crafting items, junk, and other broad categorized items. You have schematics here that you will only see if you have free lanes and Terran Armada installed. So I'll go ahead and turn all these on. One note about junk items is this contains a lot of stuff. Only turn this on if you really, really, really want everything that you can possibly loot. Not everything is worth anything, so there is that. Um, there are mods that will, such as drop off box will make use of anything that you loot, making it all worthwhile. So I would look into that, but you don't have to turn on junk items if you don't want those items. Just when you turn this on, there is a small performance hit, but it's not really that noticeable. Um, but yeah, I mean, it just comes down to whether or not you want to hoard everything. Resources, X-Tech, you will only see if you have free lanes or Terran Armada installed. Otherwise, resources are divided down into their rarity. So we'll turn all these on. And of course, the main categories here is broken down into inorganic, manufactured, and organic resources. I should have probably said that first. Weapons and armor. This is pretty simple. For armor, all your armor is right here: spacesuits, helmets, backpacks, apparel. All your weapons are right here: heavy weapons, melee weapons, pistols, rifles, shotguns, and throwable weapons. Toggle those on. And that covers loot filters. Alright, now let's look into loot destinations. Destinations determine where configurable loot is transferred after PWAL collects it. Some items are hard routed because Starfield expects them to enter a specific inventory. Activator based pickups, skill magazines, landmark data slates, cred sticks, certain resources, collectibles such as snow globes, currency, keycard, X-Tech items, and upgrade modules may be sent directly to the player. Contraband is generally routed through PandaWorks inventory. However, I have set it to go to the lodge safe for the moment because I was using a separate mod that caused issues with sending it to PandaWorks. But I will update that in the next video or in the next patch so that it will be going back to PandaWorks. What was I? Where was I? Oh, yeah. If you want to smuggle contraband, move it manually when you're ready. The panda will steal it for you, but the panda will not explain it to security. Yeah. Okay. So collectibles. Here you're going to have your antiques and toys, creature eggs, and plushies. You will not have access to the lodge safe as soon as you start the game, nor will you have access to the ship cargo hold. So your best bet is to use PandaWorks or the player. For collectibles, I like to send it to the player until I get access to the lodge safe. Consumables, this is where things like aid, drugs, drinks, and food are going to be sent. Later on, you can move this to wherever you want, but for now, I'm setting it to PandaWorks. Data slates. This is pretty self-explanatory. Data slates are listed separately because landmarks and skill mags must go to the player. So data slates I send to the player. They can go really anywhere you want, but like I said, I send it to the player because that's where I want them to go. Miscellaneous is things, ammo, crafting items, junk items. These are, these can go wherever you want. Like ammo can go to the player. Um, let's see, resources. On this particular menu, I recommend going from the bottom up, because for some reason the sub menu for this will send you right back to the destinations window. So organics, again, resources are divided out through inorganics, manufactured inorganics. So we're going to send all the organics to PandaWorks for now because we don't have access to a ship. Manufactured, same thing, and inorganics, the same thing. Weapons and armor is pretty self-explanatory again. Apparel, backpacks, helmet, and spacesuit. We're going to send all those to PandaWorks. Weapons, your heavy weapons, melee, pistols, rifles, shotguns, throwable weapons such as grenades. Those will all go to PandaWorks as well. You can send throwable weapons to the player if you'd like. And that is that about destinations. Although you do not have to set up destinations as I do, you can set it up however you wish. Just keep in mind that your ship cargo hold has a finite inventory space, so it may not be a good idea to just send everything to the ship cargo hold. That's just a little warning about that. And yeah. So now we're going to talk about settings. Here you'll find your general settings, such as your radii for your loot scanning. And I know this says destination, but I'll get that removed in the next update. I haven't updated some of the verbiage here recently, and I need to. But internal radius, this is anything the game considers an interior cell. Just because you are in a building does not necessarily mean you are in a interior cell, just so you know. Your radii selections go from 2 meters all the way up to 64. I leave everything maxed out because I'm me. City radius, this is inside any of the main cities. This does not apply to settlements or outposts. It goes from 8 meters to 64 meters. Wilderness is anything not in a city or not internal cells. This is a lot of places. Because not everything is, compact together, I guess. In the wilderness, things are more spread out. I gave it a higher radius. You can start it at 32 and end up at 128 meters. Allow lodge looting. This will let you loot the lodge. Allow outpost looting. This will let you loot your own outpost. Player home looting. This will allow you to loot your player home. Allow ship looting. This really needs to be turned on if you want to do anything with ships that this mod does. If you want to loot the interiors of your own ship, enemy ships or NPC ships, um, stations, etc., anything space based, you're going to want to have ship looting turned on. Containers and corpses. This shows this is where you go to select auto unlock containers, check security skill, and remove corpses. This will allow you to automatically unlock all containers that it finds. This will check your security skill to make sure that you actually have the skill to unlock it. If you do not, it will not unlock it. Remove corpses. This was left in because achievement-friendly folks do not get the benefit of having DLC. Well, achievement-friendly mods aren't allowed to have DLC attached to them. Let me put it that way. And so some of you achievement-friendly people, or all of you, will not always have body swaps. Sometimes you're going to be left with floating heads. This is because Bethesda does not allow us to attach DLC to achievement friendly mods. That's where this comes in handy. If you start seeing floating heads and you are achievement friendly, turn this on. Or if you just want it turned on. Allow stealing. This is under the stealing menu. Sorry. Allow stealing. This will launder your items so that when you do steal, nobody throws a fit. There is one little kink in that, and that is lock picking. Um, if you are within the vicinity of something being lock picked and someone sees you, you could end up with a bounty if you are not crouched. When you're going into new places that you haven't been before, I would highly suggest that you enter crouched. That way, when the system does start lock picking, you're not going to get called out on it. Stealing is hostile. This will make it so that it's just like normal game. If you steal, people get mad. If you steal, security will put a bounty on you and they will stop you. And they will take everything that you stole, so forth and so on. You don't have to have that on. You don't have to have allow stealing on. You don't have to have any of these turned on, which would kind of make the mod pointless, but you get what I'm saying, I think. Always loot. These items will always loot, no matter what, even if you have the looter turned off. So things like action figures, currency, landmark books, plushies, schematics, skill mags, snow globes, upgrades, and yes, even normal books and data slates. You can toggle them all on or select whatever ones you want. Now remember, these will loot even if you turn the looter off. So utilities. This is where you're going to find your inventory hold buttons. You can for PC users, you can set up hotkeys. I'll put the call global function commands in the description so that you can set them up. When you click on one of these, it will take you to a second menu that says, when you close everything, a menu will open, or the inventory will open. Transfer items. You can transfer items between cargo hold and PandaWorks. PandaWorks to the cargo hold. PandaWorks to the lodge. Resources to the ship. Valuables to the player. The wording will get changed. I didn't really use the greatest of wording here. And if any of these do not work, please let me know so I can get them fixed. There's also some things I probably need to add to that. Toggle looting, this will turn the main system on and off. So if you want it to loot, you turn it on. If you don't, you turn it off. It says something here about logging, and I've removed that toggle from the menu. There's no point in it for you guys right now. There is a call global function that will turn logging on and off, but not everybody needs that, and there's no reason to have it on here. There's no reason to turn on logging unless there is a real problem, and like I need you to turn it on, then I'll tell you how to do it. Xbox and PS5 users, you won't be able to see logging one way or the other because there's no way to log on the consoles. So we are set up, and now I will do some small demonstrations like when the Crimson Fleet lands and a brief space demo, and that'll probably be it. So once we close this, the looting will begin, and it will happen quickly. So we're going to open up our PandaWorks inventory here, and you're going to find everything getting flooded in. And we got Astras, some goodies, and this is still filling. And there we have it. So you can see you got your hellish cutter, and that's over in the other building. You have a couple of eons, which one of them comes from the open weapons case outside, and it's tied to the quest, so you might want to put it in your inventory. We got some nice spacesuits. I think I want that one. Alright. So, we got everything. As you can see, all the junk that was laying around, all the resources, medical stuff, all the apparel, helmets, so on and so forth. So,
sure. Just take my
next
stuff.
will
All
be
yours.
combat. So I'll show you how it works in combat. So we'll be right back. And here we are again. And we're going to fight off the Crimson Pirates. The Crimson Fleet. Could be the Spanish Inquisition, you never know. No one ever suspects them. And here we go. Boom. Die. Die. Sorry. Die. Die. Oh, well, I killed all of those people over there. Oopsie. Maybe I should apologize to the two miners that I accidentally destroyed. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And everyone is being looted. Nice. And bodies are disappearing. Fun. Yay. One note about this here medical kit. When you first come out of that building over there, this is going to have some first aid stuff in it. This is because I figured if somebody was really starting the game from like scratch and have never played a game like this before, they should probably learn how to open at least one container, and I did the same for the safe on Crete. You should probably learn how to at least open one safe, just to make sure you know how. Okay, and the next section I will go into space. Yay. Alrighty now, let's get on to the frontier. Now you're just gonna find that everything on the frontier gets looted.
I assume you know how to fly a Class
So
A
you'll
starship.
find all kinds of
As
data
Barrett
slates and
likes to
stuff.
say, it's as easy as
And there we go.
to ride a bike. I will attempt to boost the shields, just in case there are any difficulties.
Our spaceship, captain's locker, and cargo hold was looted. And we'll take command of the ship.
Shields ready. The rest is up to you.
Now we'll get up. And we'll move some things over to the ship. Mostly resources. Now we're going to go into our PandaWorks inventory. Let me show you how to do that the long way. So, same place. We're going to take all the resources. And we're going to take the ship parts. And then we're going to put them here. And we're going to put in here the notes. And you'll get Barrett's personal note, Heller's personal logs, supervisor logs. So you'll want to listen to those later at some point. And these are books that you can sell or give to Cora. Some people are looking for certain books, so you might want to keep them handy. Let's see, Kip, I would probably, once they start to weigh you down a bit, move them over to PandaWorks. Or just keep giving them to Cora. She'll take anything. Alright, so let's go into space now. We'll blow up some ships. And while we're waiting on this, I'll tell you one little note about notifications. Notifications are only going to happen for activators. Everything else has been silenced. So if you get a notification about it, it's because it was activator. For example, when you pick up cred sticks or sorry. Okay, or when you pick up some resources that need to use the cutter or that has to use a magic spell to loot, you will get notifications for those. For everything else, like, you know, looting bodies and picking up loose loot and looting containers, you will not get notifications about that. Just so everybody understands what's going on with the notifications. If for some miracle someone knows how to silence notifications that happen due to activators, if you could let me know, I would greatly appreciate it.
You've proven an adequate pilot. Are you familiar with ship combat tactics?
And this ship, we're going to try to disable it. And he wanted to boost out.
We will need to disable their shields.
That's okay. We're just gonna see if we can't. Nope, we couldn't. Oh well. But as you can see, it's gonna get looted.
Congratulations on surviving your first Starship assault, Captain. We should search the wreckage for spare parts and other salvage. You will need to fly close to it before
Maybe I'll disable one of these other ones that appear.
Crimson Fleet ships are jumping
About
into
time
our
they
location,
appeared.
Captain.
Jesus. Let's see if I can't disable this one. And so now PandaWorks will go hard at work and loot all of this space shuttle, or spaceship, or whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you need to let it run twice, just to make sure. Die. There we go. Cargo hold and captain locker is empty. These two will loot in just a moment. As you can see, all the stuff that's normally here has been already looted. Okay, we're going to take this ship. And I go back to my frontier. And we're going to destroy that other ship.
Shields up! Let's dance!
And as you can see, it has already been looted. I can't really go to a place with an asteroid at the moment, but asteroids work the same way. You blow it up and it gets magically looted. So there is that. I don't really think there's anything else I really need to show you. So let's see here. Let me look at my notes. Way down here. Okay. So my recommended initial setup is for basic first time setup. Begin by enabling only the loot filters you actually want. Choose player or PandaWorks inventory as your early game destination. Ship cargo may not be available until the game assigns a valid home ship, and the lodge safe is unavailable until you reach the lodge. Configure your scan radii. Decide whether you want automatic unlocking, stealing, corpse removal, and always loot behavior. Then open utilities and enable looting. Test PWAL on a small area before turning on every category. Kill one enemy, check one room, verify that loot reaches the destination you selected. Once everything is configured correctly, release the Panda. And that covers the basic setup for PandaWorks AutoLoot. Filters decide what PWAL may collect. Destinations decide where the configured loot is sent. Settings control how the framework behaves, and utilities provide quick access to storage, transfers, and the master log looting switch. Once configured, PWAL handles the repetitive work quietly in the background so you can spend more time playing and less time examining every corpse collection of half-eaten sandwiches. Thanks for watching. The Panda abides, mostly.